nothing like the sound of an Aussie V8. Come on!
I think it's easier to part with the children, actually, than it was to part with the car.
Got a woman here, hysterical, 6 months pregnant, dehydrated.
The steering wheel was just flung out of my hand.
I just want my car back the way it was.
Adolescence is a time of risk for boys. And that risk-taking is also a yearning for initiation. Something in the adolescent male wants risk, courts danger, goes out on the edge, even to the edge of death.
I'd only had 3 or 4 months driving experience and thought I was Peter Brock, and it was just a normal day. Eventually found out that there was a party on at this house. Started to have a couple of beers and a couple of friends couldn't get a taxi home, so we were driving and lost control of the car coming up over a railway crossing and clipped the medium strip in the middle of the road and ran off the road, went across the other side of the road and went through a cyclone fence, and the pole from the fence came through the windscreen and yeah, left a reminder of the accident for the rest of my life. And that's just a scar. It's a bit deeper than that.
I like going fast. I very light speed. I like the adrenaline rush it kind of gives you. Young hoon, I guess, grow out of it.
The ambulance trip there was like, it was like we were driving from here to Perth, but it was only a 10-minute drive, and you know, it was horrible. And you're getting taken into like a room, you know, and it's all white, and I'm pretty sure I was eventually strapped to the bed because I was just, you know, losing my mind through pain.
I could hear these heavy footsteps coming up the driveway, and I knew, I had a sense about it before the police knocked at the door.
It's the shock of hearing the words, "Your son has been in an accident," I think, that live with you forever, because you don't know until you see him what the actual result is and what has happened to him.
Who's that? There's Travi.
John, concerned with the boys driving, has booked his son Travis and his friend Nat into an advanced course for young drivers.
You've got to be there at 8 o'clock, though.
Yeah, we're not happy
Day
about
after
that.
grand final day.
So much for sleep.
Yeah, so you've got to behave yourself Saturday night.
Yes, well, we're perfect.
Good, mate. I've got a lot of faith in the boys driving. I mean, they're good drivers, but when you're 18, you're a little bit overconfident, you know, like we're all the same, I was the same. And I mean, you just haven't sort of seen the sort of things that can happen. And Trav had an accident in his Commodore that wrote the car off.
Which wasn't my fault, because it was raining. The rain was the reason. Rain is the reason. Lost my licence for 6 months.
For what?
Drink driving. That was a bit of fun.
Now the secret's come out.
Yeah.
Well, we know. We knew there was something going on because of the passenger restriction, but whenever we asked, we just got, oh, nothing.
The biggest hassle is not that you got to live without your licence.
Well, that is a pretty big part.
You know, I mean, the bigger picture is the seriousness of driving, you know, when you're drunk.
Mum and Dad come in and I saw them, and you know, I was really apologetic and everything, and you know, like Mum and Dad were like, you know, you're really badly hurt, you know, and all this, and I was swearing and out of control, and I actually still remember Mum saying to me, Father, "Oh, Peter, he's using that F word," and yeah, but eventually, because they tried to take CAT scans and X-rays, it just wasn't working, and they eventually, Mum come in and said, "Oh, they're going to put you to sleep."
Flatten the bugger first. It's not flat enough. Then we have to groove it out of the groove. Look at that, baby.
What time's the driving course?
8 o'clock start.
Wayne!
Go! I was just sick. I said you jump. Come on, yeah, come on.
It wasn't until about 4 a.m. in the morning when one of the surgeons came down and met me downstairs and said, well, you know, they've saved Richard this time, and he'd had very severe injuries. It was a very, very sad night and waiting to see if he was going to make it.
Anyone go out last night? What time did you get home? Roughly? 3:30. Have much to drink? No? No one drank till 1, 2 o'clock in the morning? Last night, or prepared to own up to it? No? Okay.
This privately run course is for people under 25. The aim is to change attitude. Some have been sent by concerned parents. Others have been ordered by the court. Skills will be learned by the students, but more importantly, their overconfidence will be confronted throughout the day.
How many people here, just to get some idea, have been picked up by the police before? Okay, for speeding? No? For...
I had to go to court a little while ago. I had 5 people on the exterior of the vehicle and 4 on the inside.
That's a good thing to do.
Yeah.
We'll have a talk about that. And your situation?
Yeah, I've been through that, yeah.
And?
Drink driving.
Drink driving?
Yeah.
With a blood alcohol reading of?
0.159.
Well, that's not bad.
Yeah.
You got it?
Do a job properly.
Oh, if a job's worth doing.
Yeah.
And once again, anyone in the car with you?
Yeah, had 2 people in the car.
2 people. And why did you get in the car and drive?
Why did I?
Yeah.
I have no idea.
Fair enough. What about anyone being involved in a crash? What happened, Simon?
People was sitting on the side of the road and all of a sudden she just done a U-turn in front of me. I couldn't stop, run straight in.
Right. Okay, I guess what people do in a crash, and that is externalised fault, particularly males. It's always someone else's fault, or a brake master cylinder, or wasn't, you know, the driver. And where we come from is that as long as people externalise fault for crashes, then they never learn from them. And you'll find that as we progressively discuss different aspects of the day, you'll very much come to terms with the fact that if something happens in a motor vehicle, that you're absolutely responsible for it.
He got his first car, a Falcon 500, ex-police car. It was a speed machine, and it's your first car. Well, you want to go out and impress your mates and your girlfriends and, you know. He just was unfamiliar with the roads, unfamiliar with the handling of the car, and probably just because he had a couple of girls sitting beside him or in the back seat or wherever it were in the car, he probably was out just to impress them with a bit of speed.
All the side of my skull, right down to the orbital bone, around the orbital bone, was fractured, like shattered. I think the plastic surgeon described it to me as getting a eggshell and crushing it in your hand and then putting it on a table and trying to put it back together. And also there was the layer of the brain that had been penetrated, so that meant there was neuro people involved. And then so this all means that everything becomes complicated then all of a sudden. Neurosurgeons are telling plastic surgeons that they can't go near this area because there's swelling of the brain and all these things, and you're just sitting back there thinking, I just want to be fixed.
And once you got to your 65, just rack her off until she's sitting on the 65. Wait till you get the old before you get on the brakes. If you're cheating, I'll know. You'll see the nose of the car go down a little bit, and that'll earn you the Wuss of the Week award.
Students must drive towards Peter and brake before the yellow buckets.